Hi everybody, this is Todd Creager. What I do is I help couples heal from infidelity and other crises. I also help couples rekindle passion and feel alive together. And I also help individuals recover from trauma using eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, an evidence-based treatment that is very powerful and relatively quick to help people heal. Today, what I'm talking to you about is when infidelity has nothing to do with sex. In my practice, I work a lot with infidelity, and much of the time it does have to do with sex, whether it's intercourse or some other sexual activity, face-to-face, or even via social media or texting. But there's also plenty of times couples come in to see me where there is other kinds of infidelity. For example, in 1 week, I got new clients that one of them, the infidelity was hiding alcohol, drinking alcohol, and smoking pot. Actually, this person was hiding both. And it was actually happening for many years, and the person's behavior would change, and it would cause a lot of pain and a lot of grief for this other person who started to feel like she was the mom here and he was the little boy hiding. And that was the dynamic. Nothing to do with sex. It was all about drugs and alcohol, marijuana and alcohol. Another kind of infidelity is when a person might be having money fears or hiding a secret, having a separate checkbook, betrayal about that. It's another thing that I've seen many times. Another one, though, that I'll be focusing on is when a person seeks some other person for understanding or for affirmation, and they're doing that because they're not doing that with their partner, or they feel misunderstood, or they feel judged, they're looking for acceptance possibly as well. And so they start having, and sometimes it starts out very slowly, but they begin having this secret relationship where if you looked at all their texts or emails, there's absolutely nothing sexual going on. Yet, it's still a secret. And these emotional affairs, if you want to call it, can be even more devastating than sexual affairs. I've seen many women, for example, that said, I wish he had a one-night stand, but he really has feelings for this person, not even if they're sexual, because the man sometimes say, I'm not turned on, I'm not attracted, and that can very well be true. But there's this emotional bond that can be very, very painful for the person, in this case the woman, even though it definitely goes both ways, who's been betrayed. So, what makes someone do this? Again, they're seeking affirmation, they're seeking understanding, and it's detrimental. It's very detrimental. So, I've said this many times, is the problem for the person who's betrayed is that the person is now robbed of important information. Maybe that person isn't okay with it, and probably isn't. Maybe that person, if knowing that was the truth, would want to work on the marriage and say, let's improve together. Maybe the person would say, I don't want to be with someone who's doing that. So I've said this before, it's like an interpersonal crime to have any kind of secret, whether it has to do with sex or no sex, because it still deprives the person who is being betrayed of the opportunity to make a decision based on the truth. So it steals from them. It's an interpersonal crime. Can't go to jail for it, but it's an interpersonal, because it is stealing. It also rips off the person who is doing the hiding, because it puts that person in a place of being like the shameful little boy or girl. And it's not a great place to be. It deprives that person of the capacity to be him or herself and to express, I'm having issues, this is what I'm looking for. Maybe it's missing in this relationship and I'm seeking it elsewhere. Or maybe I'm just I'm too scared to take a chance and share this stuff with you because I'm afraid you'll leave me. So I could easily do this with other people where it's safer. Now that ideally would be better to say it up front before they actually act it out. But it just deprives everybody, and it is a really serious problem. So why does someone keep this secret or lie, right? Keeping a secret or omitting and lies, what they have in common is it's still deceiving the other person. Okay, so but why do people do that? Number one, I find, I give you 5 main reasons why people will lie or keep these secrets. Number one is they have learned to avoid conflict, and they tend to be people pleasers. A lot of people that are conflict avoiders and people pleasers, they don't talk about the tough stuff, and so they harbor it. Plus, they oftentimes develop a resentment because I can't be who I am with you. So again, like I was mentioning a little just a few minutes ago, or less than that even, that it's easier to talk to somebody who's safer. I don't have the risk of being judged, or if you judge me, it's not that big of a deal. So that's something that I see. People pleasers, conflict avoiders. Number two, the person is oftentimes run by the emotion of shame. There might be something that have happened, whether it was early in their childhood or after that or during the relationship, where they have a sense of shame. And so they've learned to hide. This is a pattern of hiding. This is what people do when they're ashamed, right? They put their head down, they hide from it. They don't want to feel it. And so what happens is I find it's like a self-fulfilling cycle of I feel shame, so I hide stuff from you. I might do something that I feel ashamed about, like having this secretive, non-sexual, in this case, relationship with somebody else, which then leads to more shame, which leads to more hiding, and it becomes this downward spiral. The third is that the person is not getting what he or she wants in the relationship and lacks the skill or the willingness to be open about it and to ask for what that person wants. This is a person who has somehow learned that I can't make others uncomfortable. It's similar to people pleasing, but it's about their desires. It's not just about avoiding conflict and building emotional resentment, but it's about their desires. It doesn't have to be sexual desires. It could be desires of any kind. It could be, I want to spend more time with you. I want you to work less. Or I want to be free to go with my friends to play basketball. And if they don't do that, it could, again, lead to this hiding and shame. I've had people that secretly go play basketball and tell the person they're at work later. It's kind of like that. It's another form of infidelity in the sense of I have this secret, at least part of my life is secret. Number 4 is the person has learned from a parent figure or a significant other in their life that if I have pain, I have to act like a soloist. I'm not used to other people being there for me. It's a little related to the one before that, but they live their lives like soloists. They don't go to other people and allow them to be there for them. These are people that are a higher risk to do infidelity, whether it's sexual or non-sexual. And the 5th, again, similarly related, they grew up in an environment in their family where emotion was not shared. So here again is they've learned to be secret. They've learned to hide parts of them. And oftentimes it doesn't really affect them directly until things get more challenging. They have kids, there's more pain, there's more frustration, it builds up. And they have nowhere to go, as they think they have nowhere to go, in terms of their intimate partner, so they go outside. So those are my top 5 reasons. There are many things that we could do to help people learn how to be more mature, how to develop themselves. This is a developmental issue. You could see about those reasons. They're all about people acting more younger, allowing themselves to be visible rather to be invisible, and avoid feeling of shame, which then, of course, that cycle of shame kicks in any way. What I do with these people is help them honor who they are so they could bring their wants, bring their feelings, bring their conflict to their partner. And if their partner needs to learn how to make room for that, I do that as well. This is the way we need to work with people where there's infidelity of any kind. So I just want you to know that. I want you also to know that there's a free copy here for you and click on the link, 10 Steps to Healing from Infidelity. Very powerful, very good tips. Please click on that and have that. Thank you for listening. This is Todd Creager, making the world safe for love.